Okay, let's just dive right in, because what we're talking about today, it's a really huge deal. For the first time, like ever, the complete secret recipe for training an AI to be as smart as something like ChatGPT has been released to the public, for free. And it's all thanks to a company called DeepSeek.
Now, to really get why this is so revolutionary, you have to understand how things used to be. For years, the world of top-tier AI has been a total black box. And this quote right here, this isn't from some critic. This is from OpenAI's own paper on GPT-4. They are telling us straight up, hey, all the important stuff, the secret sauce, yeah, we're keeping that to ourselves.
But now, a new player's come along and decided to just open the box for everyone. DeepSeek just dropped this massive 80-page paper that isn't some fluffy marketing document. No, it's the full instruction manual. They've given the entire world the keys to the kingdom.
And I mean, the difference is just night and day. On one side, you have these papers that are basically glorified ads, hiding all the key details. And on the other side, you have what DeepSeek just did. They published a blueprint, a guide designed not for hype, but for real science that anyone can reproduce and build on. It's a total game changer.
So, what's actually in this secret recipe? What are the ingredients? Well, let's break down 5 of the most surprising and, honestly, most powerful techniques they revealed.
All right, first up, we've got a technique that's, well, it's kind of brutal, but it's also ridiculously efficient. It's a way to train an AI without needing some expensive supervisor constantly looking over its shoulder.
See, the old way was like hiring this huge, expensive AI teacher to grade a student AI's homework. It was slow and cost a ton. DeepSeek's method? It basically just fires the teacher. Instead, it tells the student AI, hey, for this one question, write 16 different answers. Then it just grades them against each other, gives a gold medal to the best ones, and throws the rest in the trash. It's harsh, for sure, but it is incredibly cheap and easy to scale up.
Okay, this next one is just fascinating to me because it's something the AI figured out entirely on its own. The researchers basically got to sit back and watch it have this aha moment about the value of just thinking for a second.
It's like, imagine a kid who always rushes through their math tests and keeps getting things wrong. Then one day, it just clicks. They realize, hey, wait a minute. If I just stop, take a deep breath, and double-check my work, my score goes way up. That is exactly what this AI did. It started spitting out phrases like, wait, or let me recalculate, completely on its own, because it learned that thinking longer led to a better reward. Nobody taught it that. It just figured it out.
So, for our third technique, let me ask you this. How do you get really good at chess? Do you just read a book about it, or do you play millions and millions of games? Well, DeepSeek proved that for an AI, playing the game is everything.
And this chart, wow, this chart just says it all. They gave this AI 0 human examples of how to solve these really hard competition-level math problems. They just gave it the rules and said, go practice against yourself. And look what happened. It went from basically flailing around with a 15% success rate to a near genius level 80%. It literally taught itself how to be a math whiz. Now, even though the AI can learn from a totally blank slate, which is incredible, this fourth technique shows that a little bit of guidance right at the beginning can make a massive difference.
Think of it like being dropped in the middle of a huge, dark forest. I mean, you could wander around randomly and maybe you'd eventually find your way out, but it's a whole lot faster if someone just hands you a flashlight, right? By giving the AI just a few good examples at the start, it kept it from getting lost and just talking nonsense. And the result? Its performance on language tasks more than tripled. All right, our final technique. This is where it all comes together and becomes something truly incredible. It's a process called distillation, and it's the real star of the show. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine a Nobel Prize-winning physicist writing a Physics for Dummies book. You need the genius to write the book, but anyone can read it and learn.
So DeepSeek did exactly that. They had their giant AI create a sort of textbook of its own thought processes, and then they used that textbook to teach a much, much smaller model. And the result is, well, it's frankly shocking. This tiny little DeepSeek model is almost 6 times better than the massive GPT-4o on these specific math problems. 6 times! This is a model so small it could run on your laptop or maybe even your phone in a few years. It's just insane.
So we've seen how the AI learns, but here's the really wild part. We can take these exact same principles, these learning secrets, and use them to upgrade our own thinking. This isn't just about technology anymore. It's about a better way for us to learn too.
And it's surprisingly simple.
First, stop settling for your first idea. Next time, generate 5 different solutions and pick the best one. Second, when you hit a really tough problem, force yourself to pause and double-check your logic, just like the AI did. And third, stop reading endless tutorials. The fastest way to learn is by doing. Get your hands dirty, practice the actual task, and learn from your own mistakes.
So what does all this really mean? What are the big, real-world implications of having this recipe out in the open? Well, it fundamentally changes who gets to access this kind of incredible power.
Let's not forget, training a top-tier AI model has always cost billions of dollars, with a B. That's a financial barrier that has kept this technology locked away in the hands of just a few giant companies.
Well, that barrier is now gone. Because of open releases like this, the kind of power that costs billions to create will soon be available for anyone, for you, to run and build upon, for free. I mean, what an incredible time to be alive.
And that leaves us with one final and maybe most important thought. The instruction manual for one of the most powerful learning methods ever created is now open source. So the only question left is, what are we all going to build with it?